I'm joined with my friends Tony Tucker, Joe Morley Sports, and you hear the awkward silence in the room right now. We were just disagreeing off the air on uniforms and the Chargers uniforms here, and Joe loves them. Joe personally is a big fan of the all yellows.
Yeah, I love the Charger yellow jerseys. I mean, anytime I can look at my toilet and look at their jerseys, it's the same thing, same color.
What a hater. Like,
He's such a hater.
It's gold. It's sunshine gold. This is nothing
to do
with the color of
I'm telling you guys, it's like the Tony, the Minneapolis Lakers jerseys that they wear once in a while. They bust out those yellow and blue ones. Those things are freaking beautiful, Joe. And that's the same thing as the Chargers. You could also call them the SpongeBob jerseys if you want. I'm a big SpongeBob fan.
So did the Chargers do this so that when people walk into the stores in LA, they think it's a Rams jersey and they just start buying it?
It looks nothing like a Rams jersey. It looks nothing like a Rams jersey.
Oh, the Rams jersey.
Came out with that one color rush jersey that was all yellow, and it looks nothing like that jersey. Other than that, they're both all yellow. This is a completely different shade of yellow, and it's got a completely different design. It is not the same jersey.
I like the Charger. I like the powder blue. It's good. Cool. I like the navy blue. But the yellow you can get rid of. You can get rid of the all yellow.
No. The yellow we should wear weekly.
Are you guys doing it like to protest against the Chiefs? So like when you guys play the Chiefs, be like, hey, can't throw flags at us because we match them. We're matching them. Like maybe the referees will like you guys more now because you guys are look just like their favorite things out there. I don't know.
They're going to wear them for one game. This is the thing I didn't understand. The internet was enraged. There were so many Chargers fans, too, that hated them. And it's like, guys, they're going to wear them for one game. It's like one game against the Colts that most of the league probably won't even watch a game of the Chargers-Colts. Like, that's not going to be must-see TV, whether it's Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones. So I'm like, guys, just relax. I should have – my wife got the new – Herbert yellow jersey. I should have hung that one today. I should have put that one in.
It's here already? You already got it in hand?
We went to the store after.
Oh, you got it. Oh, yeah. You sent me a picture. I remember now. Damn. Yeah. I wanted to get like a unique player, so I'm saving it, and I ordered it online. My Dayon Henley all yellow is on the way. I also ordered a custom NFLMike jersey in all yellow because of Joe only.
That's it. Fuck it. I'm going to make Joe look at this thing for the whole show. I'll be back.
There you go. Yeah, go get the jersey. You know what, Joe? Stay right there.
So here I am on the show, NFLMike show, all by myself. Look, I already made Charger fans leave. That's how good I am. That's how scared they are of the Las Vegas Raiders fans this season that they're already gone. I took over NFLMike's corner.
You can't hate on this, man. This is just.
I said the blue one. I said the blue one.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, the blue one's that one's fine. That one's good.
I wish I had the other one. I don't have it yet. It's on the way.
My only issue is the all yellow. The all yellow is. I met
it
LT
looks like
before.
I'm telling you, it looks like it looks like Laker uniforms. That's what it looks like.
Look at that. Ugly
that is beautiful. With the baby blue lettering and everything. That is awesome. And also we were talking about before we went on the air is the fact that right after we dropped these uniforms that everyone hated on, the Steelers dropped all yellow uniforms. And I'm not saying people are loving the uniforms. But no one is out here saying like, oh, look at all the Steelers alternate uniforms, man. They need to stop with these uniforms.
Steelers out there with looking like a construction worker. Like they got the little stripes going. They got the what is it? Because Aaron Rodgers came over. Now they're sponsored by State Farm, so they got to wear khaki pants. Is that what it is?
The discount double check is back.
Like, come on. Like the tan pants, the tan khaki pants don't belong in football. Get them out of there.
So again, I don't hate on these uniforms as much as everybody else. Like I'm not really like I don't care one way or the other, right? Like
Tony wants to see the 1930s back out there.
My thing is like, how is the team gonna play? Oh, breaking news. Never mind. If the uniform, if they play good in the uniform, everybody's gonna love it. If the Giants would have kicked ass in that uniform last year, everybody would have been like, oh, these aren't that bad. But it's just when you look at it, it is a little off-putting, but like I don't think they're nearly as bad as half the internet.
I made a video about this that I said it looks like my piss after I drink 14 Dr. Peppers is right there, Tony. It's It's nasty. They're ugly. I said they go out there. They're trying to be like the Rams and try to get people to buy them and just confuse them with the Rams jerseys. What else did I say?
That was enough. That was enough.
They're trying to please the referees in the NFL because the referees are used to throwing the flags on the Chiefs. So now, if they look like a flag, they can go out there and get some calls for them. Now, the blue jerseys, I already said, Mike, the blue jerseys look good. I'm not going to hate on them. But what I do hate on that is now all of a sudden, the Chargers want to embrace San Diego, right? All of a sudden, you run from that town and you leave all them fans hanging, and now you're like, hey, we're not getting the fans in LA. Maybe we can go and buy that market back in San Diego and bring all those fans back. That's the shitty part of what the Chargers are doing with these navy blue jerseys.
Me and you both know, Joe, that the Chargers could move to LA. They could move to San Francisco. They could move to Oregon. They could move to Arizona, Florida. They could move to Mars. If they win, fans will show up. That's really what's changing it. It's not all of a sudden the team's marketing to the San Diego fans. Jim Harbaugh's marketing that we're going to have a good season. And maybe the San Diego fans should let go of the hard feelings that they had before about Dean Spanos and Brandon Staley because we have Jim Harbaugh now. That's really what it's about. It's not like this giant marketing push that the Chargers are going on to try and get the San Diego fans back. They've been trying that since the beginning with the ticket sales, especially.
Yeah, we're in a situation now where it's like Harbaugh played for the San Diego Chargers, coached at the San Diego University. Like, all of these things are tied in together, right? And of course, they want the San Diego fans there. We saw in the Phillip Rivers video yesterday where he was talking about like what it was like to drive into Qualcomm and see what the tailgate was what it was like back in the day at the the height of the powers of the San Diego Chargers, and they're just trying to recapture some of that. They got a 70,000 seat stadium that is 5 minutes away from the airport. So all of the opposing fans can come to LA and get in and out of town super easy and go to a place that's fun, that a place people want to go to vacation. Like, so now we just need to find ways to make sure that the seats are occupied by more Chargers fans than away fans. And that includes people from San Diego.
And they're going to have a lot of fun filling up the stadium in those all yellow, beautiful jerseys. And Joe might have compared them to piss. I compared them to the Lakers uniforms, and the Lakers have won a few championships, Joe. I don't know if you noticed your surroundings living here in LA. I know you're a Clippers fan, but the Lakers are pretty good. So maybe the Chargers could get a little bit of that gold rub off here with these uniforms. Also, you admit the Navy uniforms are great. You do notice what the Chargers did, right? You can't black out SoFi anymore because you're just navying out SoFi. They look so similar. And we also put that day as the day the Chargers wear their navies, forcing the Raiders to wear white. So all your fans are going to be wearing a shade closer to us than your own team on that day.
I would rather wear white in that fucked up stadium with no AC. Man, last time I had swamp ass like a motherfucker in there.
That's like asking for AC at the beach, Joe. You can't put an air conditioner at the beach.
There. Tony was there. That game was miserable and horrible, and
it's a part of the design.
I'm glad we don't have to go to SoFi Stadium early in the season like this year because, oh my, that was bad.
Those September games are pretty brutal. Especially when you're down there, there's no airflow coming in because it's like that top one. So when we're sitting down there in the 100 section, just the sun's coming like crazy. It's a little uncomfortable down there.
Yeah, but Max Crosby's getting cooked on the sideline too. Don't worry. Like I'll sweat with the team if that's what it takes to give us the weather advantage here in Cali.
Yeah, that's
I guess for the Raiders, it's not really an advantage. They play in the desert too. Just they don't have to play outside.
Yeah, not quite.
It's more for the cold teeth. Moral of the story is
I have to apologize to the Chargers a little bit because they came out with their ugly yellow jerseys. And then a week later, the Pittsburgh Steelers said, hold my beer. And they came out with another ugly uniform to go along with it. Yeah. I don't know what the trend is with yellow in the NFL, but get that shit out of here. Get the yellow out of here. No more yellow. No more yellow.
I love the color yellow. You can see in our old logo, I am wearing a yellow Chargers t-shirt in the background, right over Joe's left shoulder, I believe. I'm
Yeah.
wearing a yellow. I think the color yellow, you got to have confidence. You got
Also-
to be like comfortable wearing it.
You guys remember we took a vote on that logo, and all three of us voted yellow on the logo.
Yeah.
This is us. This isn't the NFL jersey on the field. Like, no.
I want to see
gotta-
the same. I do want to see the same hate on the Steelers. I feel like the Chargers are like just like the off-season like dartboard when it comes to the internet. Like they just want to make fun of us in any way, shape, or form that they can during the offseason because obviously everyone's so excited about seeing Quentin Johnson catching 10 touchdowns at practice. So they want to bring us down a notch with the uniform thing.
You know who loves the yellow jerseys? Opposing defensive backs. Because they're going to wear the yellow gloves with it, and they're going to hold all damn day with it.
Well, we can wear yellow gloves too. You know, I guess.
Again, it's one game. Where people are acting like they're going to be seeing these things 8 or 9 times this year. It's going to be.
Yeah, but you will though, Tony. You will though, because all these fans that are saying they don't like these uniforms are going to be rocking them. So you will see them every week throughout the entire crowd.
That's the thing, Tony. It's not one game. It's the fans that go out there and buy these ugly ass jerseys that they're going to rock them. Like the NFL can sell whatever they want. They can sell some shit and people will buy it. Like,
yeah, it's the fans that'll go and buy it, Tony. Yeah, you.
Last year they made ugly ass hats.
He's got the jersey hanging back there, Joe. He's got the jersey hanging back there. You can't make fun of him to his face like that.
I don't give a shit what Joe says about the yellow jersey. This guy only wears black T-shirts. Have you ever seen?
They don't have any color. They're just jealous. They'll never be able to add color to their uniforms ever.
Here's my thing. The jersey, the yellow jersey came out like 4 or 5 years ago. It's just now that they're putting it as a part of the rotation that they're going to wear as like a alternate jersey. That's it.
The best uniforms in the NFL is the Las Vegas Raiders. And there's no doubt about it. Everybody else is just fighting for second.
It's just
I got a new wish. I got a new wish for Christmas this year. Santa, please bring me those gold Raiders jerseys. Please. I want to see the same energy because I know that there's an old school Raiders logo with some gold in it that they could go back on and make some money off of that goes a lot with them Golden Knight uniforms. I think that they should go ahead and give me some good content of Joe roasting the gold uniform and then having to back the Raiders.
Well, you know, the Raiders had gold in their uniforms.
That's what I'm saying. It could happen. It's possible.
Al Davis was colorblind. And then he realized, he found out he had it, and then he realized, the Steelers and all that, and the rivalry, and he's got to get rid of that shit.
How the hell did Al Davis get in the military colorblind? Like, push the red button. Pushes the purple one. But anyways, the uniforms are amazing. Don't listen to what Joe's saying, but comment your thoughts on the uniform right here. We're going to move on to training camp. Me and Tony already went to Chargers training camp. The Chargers opened a little bit earlier because the Hall of Fame game is starting, and they just want to work harder than the rest of the league because that's the way the Chargers are. But we'll start there with Chargers training camp. Tony, in a general sense, what stood out to you most about the camp?
Well, it was really kind of like a mini camp, like what he was saying there, where it was a little bit more controlled and, there wasn't a lot going on. I would say that like my one big takeaway was just how much larger the team looked like at every position, whether it was height or actual, like just looking massive. And that was without Mekhi Becton being there.
Yeah.
So like it's crazy to see Omarion Hampton up close. Like he was doing those drills right there. And I was like, just if you're a DB and you're trying to tackle that guy, like good luck. Like any of those guys. That's what I can't, whenever you get to see somebody who's like that huge in person, like Derrick Henry, it's like, no wonder these people can't do anything. The guy's got arms that are, 8 feet long, and he's super strong, and he's stiff arming you to Middle Earth. But it was exciting to see him out on the field. And last year we didn't get to see Herbert. That was the other thing. We showed up and it was like Herbert had the plantar fasciitis, and we had to watch Casey Bauman and Max Duggan or something like that running practice, and it was absolutely brutal. So it was fun to see a little bit of excitement out there.
I'm glad you say that too. I think that was my biggest takeaway from the practice, that Herbert seems really comfortable. He really seems like he is in the groove already. And, we're just starting off training camp. That's amazing. That's from having a full off season and a full season with Harbaugh now. Back-to-back seasons with the same offense coordinator. I think this is only the second time in his career that he's entered the season with the same offense, not having to learn a new offense. So they're only adding to it. Joe's going to roast Greg Roman right after I say that. But yeah, Herbert seems really comfortable. And even when you watch the Jim Harbaugh mic'd up segment, like Harbaugh and Herbert's communications back and forth, it seems like they're best friends now versus learning each other. And I'm really excited for that. Even things like Herbert kind of just throwing more riskier passes when he gets through all his reads because just trying to get a rep. I know in previous practices, it takes a lot of sacks. And I'm like, why are we taking a sack without any pads? Just throw that shit up at the end. This is practice. We're seeing a lot of that now in practice. I think it's just he's more comfortable with his coaching staff.
Yeah, he's just giving him a shot, which was fun. We talked about that on the Deion Henley interception that a lot of people got excited about. It's like he went through the first couple of reads, then came back over the middle late, and Henley was just sitting right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a tough throw. He tried to force it into Ladd, I think, and
the Dean Leonard pick six was kind of like a last read, throwing a hitch. Just these kind of things are things where I know Herbert would have just eaten the ball before, and Trey Lance was eating the ball. He wasn't throwing picks. Like he wasn't just throwing it up like that. So that type of stuff, you could tell that Herbert himself just more comfortable, just have a practice, not care what anyone thinks about what happens, and keep going. To go back to the Amari Hampton point, and this is where I'm going to ask you, Joe. Amari Hampton looks smooth. He looks good. He looks ready to be the lead back of the Chargers, and with a firework blowing up in our other running back's face, I think that for fantasy purposes especially, Amari Hampton might have the lead on the Chargers back role way quicker than we were thinking here.
Yeah,
I was going to ask if any of you guys had an eye on Najee Harris out there.
Wow.
He wasn't there. He wasn't there, Joe, because his eye got taken out. I don't know if you had an eye in the news.
You guys got exploded. You guys signed another running back, right, yesterday?
Did we? What'd I miss?
Oh, yeah. Naheem Hines. It's coming to this.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not see that. I didn't get
actually
that.
Not bad if he's got some juice still.
So that makes me wonder about Najee's eye a little bit more with Hines coming in. But we already know. Like, this is one of the things that Raider fans get pissed off at me about, because when I talked about the Genty, and nothing about Genty, but the when you're drafting a running back at number 6 in a draft that's full of running backs, and a guy like Hampton is still there, and he falls to your division rival, and now it's always going to be compared against each other. And you don't think both of these guys are going to get a ton of carries, and both of these guys, you got to find out. Like, and Hampton, he's a big dude. He's a big dude. Like, and what he did in college it should translate to the NFL. So, I'm not gonna lie. I think the AFC West came up in running backs this year. I really do. I think the Raiders, the Broncos, the Chargers, they all have good running backs. And you guys have one of my favorite ones, and I don't know, he probably won't make the team, but I like Sanders over there too.
Well, the thing with Sanders is that he hasn't been out there for practice yet, which I don't know what happened there. But hopefully he can get out there because he's going to have a real opportunity to compete for a spot. And I'd like to see him get on the roster too. Maybe it's through special teams or whatever. But yeah, he was one of those guys that when you see the undrafted free agent list come out, you're like, oh shit. Like, I know him, watched him, like he's a good player. I can't believe he didn't get drafted. And now he's got a chance to make the team. So rooting for him. The running back situation, it's like, so all these teams have older coaches who have a history of winning, and they're all focused on running the football, the importance of being able to have a strong running game, offensive line, focused football team. So
yeah, one of the coaches knows a lot about probably should run the football on the 1 yard line with the Super Bowl on the line. I will say that. That's for damn sure. But yeah, I think that the RB battle is going to be an interesting one to watch for the Chargers training camp. That was one that I was going to go into and kind of just take some notes on Amari Hampton, how he looked and everything. Tony, if you had to make a bet right now, who has more carries week 1, Hampton or Najee, who would you bet?
Oh, you have to go with Hampton. We don't know what the status of Najee's going to be. We don't know, like how the eye is shaping out, like, is he even going to be able to dress for week 1? I know that he's a veteran, but you still want to be able to take some reps in a new offense. You still want to be in, like game shape and ready to go. It's different to be just like generally in shape and then also in football shape. So like, is he going to be able to handle a workload in week 1 where he is carrying the ball, 15 to 18 times? It's like, well, if he's not ready to go, then I think Hampton will just get that nod right out of the gate, whether he's, Harris is just able to be on the field. That's my hope. It's like, can he be out there for week 1? Can we have him on the field and we aren't going to see like, oh, he's going to miss the first 2 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever it is. So Hampton's got the edge. Part of me wonders if a little bit of it is just to like kind of let the stuff die down around Harris, because he is going to have to go to a mic and answer some questions. And like, are they letting the eyebrow grow back or the eyelashes or something? Like it could be just more of like hey, once he gets in front of a camera and in front of a mic, just having him like,
let's make sure that it doesn't look like a firework went off in his face recently.
Yeah, exactly. Like having him be able to like look normal as part of that's my goal. Is like
hashtag
that's scary.
Yeah, I don't play with fireworks because of this. I never have, never will.
I've never been a fireworks person. I don't understand the allure to it.
We had no elevators last year. Our whole team got stuck in an elevator. Now hashtag no fireworks this year. Chargers anti-fireworks rest of the season. New Year's comes around, no fireworks at all.
Yeah.
Zero.
Somebody let the NFL players know that they make enough money that somebody else can light the fireworks for them.
What? Right?
I can watch.
Maybe someone launched the firework at him. That's the thing I worry about. One of his buddies launched the firework at him at a party.
Yeah. I love to go to like, if you go to a good harbor and there's a good fireworks show over the bay or
just watch it.
Whatever it is, that stuff's fun. But like we have some family members that love to just like have big expensive fireworks in the backyard, and it's always like, I'm going to be way over here by the house. Like I'll enjoy it from a distance.
Seems a little bit insensitive too with where we live. In case anyone's wondering, we live in Los Angeles, which burns down once a year. So maybe we should stop with the lighting fires once a year. They seem to be a problem. We could talk about Chargers all day, Tony, and we'll probably do a separate day or podcast. Sure. We'll just talk all about Chargers. One more thing about the Chargers before we move on here, because there's just so much to go in on from practice, is the wide receiver 2 battle. I think this is one that's really going to get intense for the Chargers, even more than that running back battle. Who's going to come out as like our outside X wide receiver mostly? Is it going to be Trey Harris? Is it be Quentin Johnston now that Mike Williams retired? I want to know what Joe's thoughts are on this battle from an outside perspective. I kind of have my opinion. I know Tony has his opinion, but Joe, what do you think about QJ versus kind of a rookie second round pick? That's what Ladd was last year. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for QJ to get passed up in training camp. But what's your thoughts?
Well, when you guys were talking, I was thinking in my head, I was like, it might be a blessing for the Chargers that Mike Williams retired, and left early. One, he hasn't stayed on the field the last couple of seasons anyways. He's always hurt. Every time he goes for that long pass and he fucking hits the dirt, you're always wondering, is he going to get back up, right? So now you actually get to let these young receivers get out there, get the playing time, get the experience. And now everybody loves hating on Johnston, right? Everybody loves it. There's already videos of him dropping passes, and you're not going to be able to fix them.
There's one.
But it's out there. It's already out there. Every time he drops a pass, it's going to get brought back up every damn time. But, I mean, he's still going to be out there. He's still going to be fighting for it. But I think the wide receiver position is good, and I like the youth out there. But I was going to say, that's what I said. I think Mike Williams' retirement is actually a blessing for the Chargers.
But if you had to pick who you think starts at X for the Chargers week 1, make just a brief, just a prediction.
Harris.
I think it's be QJ. Tony, you want to go?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be Q too, at least to start the season. Especially like Greg Roman said that they would like to get Harris comfortable, so he's been playing a lot of snaps and stuff with the Z spot. And he said that he thinks Trey Harris can play any of those 3 spots. So they want to be able to get him comfortable at 1, and if they're able to get him a lot of reps in the Z, they feel like that's a spot where he's going to be able to thrive there. For me, it's like, I don't understand why at this time of year, like as fans, we can't be encouraging the players to practice is a spot where you're supposed to be making mistakes. You're supposed to be going for it. And it's like the guy drops one ball on the first day and it's all like, oh, here we go again. He's out. It's like, guys, he's on the team right now. And until he's not on the team, like, let's all hope that he just becomes the player we all want him to be as fans. Like, I just don't I get in the season, we get frustrated as fans when we see the players. It's like, he threw you the perfect ball and you should have caught it. I can't believe, when none of us would have caught it, but we all get mad at him. And it's like the first day of camp, we're already ready to be done with him. Like, he's putting in all this work. I'm rooting for him and everybody else on the roster to be healthy, to be strong, to be ready to go and go out there and kick ass this season. So like, I think he's shown even more strides. He took a jump from year 1 to year 2. Now, if he can do it again in year 3, it's like fantastic. I'm
100%. Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Who goes to training camps? Fans usually of the team, right? Like, if you're going to training camp because you like the Dallas Cowboys, you're going to Charger camp because you're a fan of the Chargers. And the people that put these negative videos out are the fans of their own team, which is pretty bad. Like, I'm going to go to Raider training camp, right? I'm not going to put interceptions thrown. Like, I'm not going to post shit like that. I want to post the good stuff. And because, like you said, it's part of the process. They're learning offenses. They're learning the wide receivers. They're doing all this. And they're doing, like, I saw before we came on the show, the first clip I saw of Dolphins training camp today, the first throw that Tua threw at training camp, pick 6. Who posted it? A fan. Like, why are you doing this to your own team?
I'm with you. I'm with you 100% on that, Joe.
I will say this. I think that the fans who post that kind of stuff, they know that they're going to get a lot of attention and clicks and that's their moment to succeed, is them sort of preying on somebody else's downfall in that moment, which really kind of sucks. But I do understand that thought process of like, oh man, I've got this thing. And if I share it, a lot of people are going to look at it and I'm going to have some traction on the internet. And that's exciting for some people. To me, it's like, it's more so the people that jump in the comments that are just so, like, rallying the cry of like, they want the downfall of this player. And it's like, guys, we have a whole season to go and it looks like he's going to be on the roster. Like, let's build him up. Like, these players, I know they get into the comments of these videos and they read these things. Like, so let's be like encouraging and hopeful that it's going to be better. It's going to be great.
Hopefully QJ read the freaking comments of me cussing everyone out from my viral video, but I posted a video of him catching like 10, 15 passes in a row and it went absolutely insane. All the Chargers fans are now unfollowing me, sending me nasty DMs. And I'm like, what? Are you guys Raiders fans all of a sudden? Just because I'm supporting a player? Quentin Johnston is going to succeed in the league, whether it's with the Chargers or not. I believe in that because you could tell when a guy that drops a pass at practice gets that kind of internet hate, gets that kind of buzz, the entire, like every analyst, they got nothing to talk about, right? This is a dead period. So all they could talk about is Quentin Johnston's one drop pass. He follows it up with 2 touchdowns on every day, the next 3 days of practice. This guy, he sees the challenge, he's going for the challenge, and he's improving. I got a pop quiz, Joe. You're a big Devontae Adams fan. How many yards did Devontae Adams have his first year in the league?
I don't know.
It's a little bit less than 500. Second year in the league, less than 500. Devontae Adams' first 1,000-yard season, I believe, was 4 years in.
Yeah. He was behind. He like in defense of that, he was behind like some really good players.
Like
I think
Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Josh Palmer.
Yeah, no, and I get that.
The guy's developing. I know I'm not saying he's gonna be Devontae Adams ever one day, but the Chargers fans, especially, that have already turned on someone in 2 years who has shown promise. He has one weakness really that we need to attack that's big here, and we get rid of that weakness, and everyone will be excited for Quentin Johnston this year.
But the one weakness is his hands. The thing that he uses all the time.
How many drop passes did he have last year? 11. Where did that rank in the NFL?
I don't know. I just made that up. So
I think he had 8. I think in reality, I think he had 8 or 7 or something. He's outside the top 20 in drop passes, but those other 20 wide receivers aren't even brought up. And Jaden Reed's on that list. A bunch of good receivers on that list.
You know who dropped a lot of balls? T.O.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're making my point. Devontae Adams is notorious. Yeah, I think he has the record over like the last 5 years for most drop passes in a single season. I know he got 200 targets that season, but still.
I'm gonna let Tony go, but go ahead. Tony.
My point about Davante Adams and being behind all those great receivers was that he got the opportunity to come along and develop. And when he was making mistakes, it was usually late in games where the Packers were already up. Q's issue was he was supposed to be brought along slowly, but they ran that weird inside play with Mike Williams. He tears his knee up in week 3, and then all of a sudden the expectations for Q in his rookie season like tripled, and you can't like. There are very few players who can come into the league right away at a position that's that demanding and be able to dominate from year 1. So we saw that he took strides in year 2. Are we saying that he doesn't get the opportunity to get better again in year 3? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Every person out there who has a job is hopefully trying to get better at it, right? Like, if you love your job, you are trying to get better at that every time that you do that. And that's what he's doing. We see that in the practice, in the preparation, in the care. And he wasn't afforded the same opportunity as Davante Adams or some of these other receivers. And now the expectations are there. He's got a couple years under his belt. It's time to see it.
The fans just want to blame somebody. They just want to blame somebody for things going wrong. And their first thing is to blame the person they like the least. So now that Staley's gone, we have no one else to blame if things go wrong. So they're going to blame one. But the problem is that 2023 season that Quentin Johnston is haunted by, every single player on the roster pretty much should be haunted by, but Khalil Mack. Like, Khalil Mack's the only player on the team that had a perfect season that year. It's tough for me. But, the Quentin Johnston hate has gone overboard. I think he's going to be the Chargers' wide receiver this season for most of the season. I think Trey Harris is going to work a lot out of this slot. I really do.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if they sign him. If they go add like a Gabe Davis or Amari Cooper.
They get Keenan Allen, though. That would change things. That would change things. Too.
Well, I don't think Keenan's still not. They're not going to line him up at X. Like,
why?
not a ton.
Why?
They just
You're
won't.
better X than Gabe Davis.
I'm not in Mike. I'm not in disagreement with you. I'm just saying that if he comes there, I just don't think that that's where they're going.
Oh, you think they're going to work him like lad, basically?
Yeah.
The thing that I love about Keenan is that our offense is going to be amazing and perfect and impossible to stop. I think the more one-on-one problems we cause outside, like the more we force people into zone coverage, the Chargers are going to run down everyone's throat. But if you can just play man-to-man on QJ and on the younger receivers and double up lad, it might be a little bit easier to continue to load the box. So I think Keenan Allen brings an element where, go ahead, leave that guy one-on-one. That's an easy 12 yards.
So one of the things that we're starting to see more around the league, and I saw it even at camp the one day I was there, is the condensed sets, or where they're having the stacked splits over there, and you can't really tell who is X, Y, whatever. You don't really know until the play starts, kind of like who's doing what in the formation. And that is where you could have Ladd and Keenan on the field, and a lot of those condensed splits that are going to cause a lot of problems for people in that aspect of it. It's not as traditional as it used to be, where it's like we know it's X, Y, and Z type of a situation. Like we'll be able to. There's more room for development and the ability to play with the way the offenses are now.
I'm hyped about the team as is right now, Tony. I think this is the best team that I've seen since I started making content on the internet. So we'll see how it goes for the Chargers. Hopefully we can win 12 or more games this season. Joe, I know you're probably bored of this conversation, so we're going to go to around the league here, but you're about to go to Raiders training camp. What battles are you watching out for? I wrote down that it actually is kind of a sneaky, interesting watch as to who is going to kind of be the second receiving option behind Brock Bowers. Because it's obviously Jacoby Myers has to be leading it, but this Beck, whatever his name is, he has a very good skill set. And then Trey Tucker, I think, is one of the more underrated receivers in the NFL. So I think that's an interesting one to see who's going to emerge as like the Raiders franchise wide receiver potentially going forward. But what do you think? Is there any other wars that I'm missing out on here that I don't pay attention because I hate the Raiders?
Thornton's 6'3" or a big 6'4".
They got Tyquan Thornton?
No, they got Dante Thornton from
Tennessee. I remember him actually.
I think he hit like 4.29.
He just has some injuries, right?
4.36 or whatever, and he plays at Tennessee where there's not a lot of routes. It's kind of just run the post, skinny post. Like you run two things. It's like run far and run fast, which works well for Geno Smith. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, and I made a video about this about a week ago about the Raiders wide receiver room, where I said it's an interesting room and probably something the Raiders need to be worried about going into camp. But because there's a lot of ifs in there. Like Jacoby Myers, we know what he is, but is he a number one wide receiver? I'm not sold on that 100%. He had 0 drops last year, 1,000 yards. He with 2 shitty quarterbacks, right? Yeah. So he did his job last year. Then we're relying basically on rookies after that. And another guy they have going is they're turning Tommy Millott, for a quarterback last year, into a wide receiver, and they're saying he's doing pretty good. So they brought the speed in, but it's just a lot of youth, a lot of young guys there, and a lot of great potential that can turn into a great wide receiver room. It's just, can they gel? Can they get it going? And what can they do over the next couple of weeks at camp to get them going? And that's what I'm interested in, is just that wide receiver room, just to see what we can get out of that position. Like you said, you already have Brock Bowers, which you can move all over the place, and I'm not saying anything about that. But when on paper he's listed as a tight end, so when I'm looking at just wide receivers, that's what we're talking about, is just that wide receiver room. But we'll see. I mean, once the pads come on, and then you got to worry about injuries and all that stuff. But it's a young wide receiver room that has a lot of potential, that could turn out to be something good with Geno Smith getting rid of the ball quick. So I'm very interested. I'm also one guy I'm also liking in the passing game that I think people are really overlooking is Michael Mayer. I think if everybody is turning their attention to Brock Bowers or somewhere else, and you have this other big tight end, especially like in the red zone, and you can get him, start using him, I think he'll be a great weapon on their offense as well.
That's why I ask you for fantasy purposes, even with like Ladd, like the reaction to a lot of these rookies that did good their rookie year is going to be coverage shifts their direction. And you're going to see that with Brock Bowers. It's impossible to have a season like that and just be going over people like that and just dominating, and not to get the attention of the defense the next season when they're watching that tape. So that means that someone's going to get some opportunity out there. And that's where I think the opportunity is fantasy-wise on the Raiders roster, because Geno Smith is going to feed somebody. He's going to pass the ball. He's going to be successful through the air, and someone's going to get some targets, and someone's going to get some receptions, and someone's going to score some touchdowns. I don't know who, though. But, Tony, what do you think about the Raiders wide receiver battle?
So, for me, that guy is Trey Tucker. Because
Trey Tucker? See?
It has nothing to do with a great last name either. It's the opportunity for him to be able to stretch the defense. Because if they're running the ball a lot and Genty's the focal point of the offense, him and Brock Bowers, and like you guys know this, I talk about this every single year. Number one wide receiver to me is the person that can handle the highest volume of targets and be productive. There's no more definition for me where it's like he has to be 6'3" and he has to play X and he has to win outside. It's like the person that can handle the highest volume, that's Brock Bowers. He's the number one receiving option on this team. Jacoby Myers is a nice complement to that. He's going to be reliable. He's going to get open, and I think he can play all three of the spots too. But like you have Jack Besh and him that are kind of still similarly being able to work over the middle of the field mainly, but Bowers is going to be that number one option there. Who's the person that's going to excel in play action? And to me, that's Trey Tucker. Like if he's getting one-on-one coverage, and Geno has got a cannon. So if he sees that and they're running a play action fake, it's like Trey Tucker's going to be able to hit some big shots down the middle of the field. And he might not be a high volume guy, but if he put up 850 yards this season with like 6 to 8 touchdowns, it's like, oh, wow, this guy had a breakout season. It's like, well, yeah, he should, because you have a running game that's making you play with a safety that's having to stay a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. And now he's getting more one-on-one coverage out there, and that guy could fly. So I think Trey Tucker's the winner if everything works out the way that it's supposed to. If that offensive line is, strong and functional, I think he's the guy that flourishes the most.
That's my favorite wide receiver. That's my favorite wide receiver in the room too, Tony. I think you could get a very like Tyler Lockett-esque connection here with Geno. It could be down the field often, back of the end zone, those little like he did against the Chargers in the 63-point game. But Joe, which one would be your favorite out of the group, you think, if you had to pick one right now?
Well, to say what you guys are saying, the crazy thing about Trey Tucker is the Raiders use the way that you're talking about Trey Tucker is the way they used him in preseason games last year. Hey, run the ball, throw it deep to him, and score some touchdowns. And then when it got to the regular season, they totally forgot how to use Trey Tucker. Like they were like, "Oh, we don't know how to do it. We don't know how to use him." And so this is probably maybe the first time that he actually has an offense coordinator that can design some plays for him and go that way. But I'm really interested in seeing what Thornton can do. I'm really interested. A lot of good news coming out of here. So he might be my favorite going into camp. And I always root for a rookie to do something and break out. So he might be my favorite to watch this one and see what goes for him. And But another offensive weapon. I know we're talking about wide receivers, but Mostert. I think Mostert is a great fit to that offense, and I think he's going to get a little bit more playing time than people think because everybody's all focused on Genty. But I think a two-back combination is going to be good with his speed.
Mostert's just got to stay healthy. Like I told you there was I texted you guys in the group one night and Mike called me crazy. It's like he has the ability he has like Hall of Fame ability, but he's never been healthy. Like when you watch him run, that like the explosiveness that he can get when he gets that cut and he finds the lane, like he is very scary. The problem is that he only plays like 4 or 5 games a year. It's always a hamstring or something. And maybe that was maybe more so the use with Shanahan, like, because he did have a great season. What was it, 2 years ago in Miami?
Yeah,
like he had like 16, 18 touchdowns or whatever. So he does have that ability. It's just how long can it be there? And then if he's not there, the depth behind him is concerning, I would say, or, you know, at least questionable.
You know what's crazy? They were doing an interview with Tyreek Hill recently, and they just asked him, they're like, has there been any teammate or anyone in the league that you would say is even close to your speed that could keep up with you? He didn't say Jalen Waddle. He didn't say McCole Hardman. Man said Raheem Mostert. That dude can keep up with me in his prime. I was like, that's insane because Mostert's got what, 20 pounds on Tyreek, 25 pounds more than that on Tyreek.
2 years ago, he hit like 24 miles an hour on the GPS. Whenever, you know, they do those numbers, it's like he had the fastest time.
That's a good return man right there. That's a great return man.
3.6 miles an hour. It's like, holy shit, this guy.
The new age return, Joe. Like once you hit that second level, like, oh, it's the kicker. Good luck.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
I'm excited for it too because the Chargers were running their running backs out at kick return, working Amari Hampton in. So maybe that might turn into something too. But yeah, I think the Raiders defense, we don't really need to talk about that much. That's an open battle almost across the board, except for, you know, your star players. So we'll see how that shakes out as well. That's always going to be talked about because they drafted the running back instead of defense.
Some of the Wilkins news is kind of scary because, like, I will say when he was a free agent, I was like, man, I really want the Chargers to like be in on the bidding. And then I found out how much it was. I was like, okay, they can't afford this guy. But like, he was one of my favorite players in Miami. Whenever we would do those early on Warzone shows and we'd be talking about the interior defensive line guys, I'd be like, we got to bring this guy's name up. And then he has an unfortunate injury. And then every time I hear somebody talk about it, they're like, well, he might not be the same player anymore. He might not return. It's like, can somebody share some good news with me about like how this guy's like bouncing back? Like, again, I don't root for the Raiders, but it would just be really unfortunate for a player of his ability to have this kind of injury at this time in his career. When I think playing next to Max Crosby, like that defensive line has a chance to just be dominant. The Raiders defensive line could really be something special if that guy gets back to full health.
Yeah. And
that could be your new JC Jackson right there. You want Tom Telesco went JC Jackson with the Chargers, fired, hired by the Raiders. Christian Wilkins, fired.
Both.
But if you look at Wilkins' contract, it was really a 2-year deal anyways. Like after this season, the Raiders have to do something with it because I think his contract goes up to like almost $35 million a season or something like that. So they were going to have to address Christian Wilkins in this offseason. So the foot injury to outside of Raider fans or people that maybe not like me that aren't watching it every day, like Christian Wilkins, like this has been something that's been talked about since last season, like since December, that he might have to have another surgery, that his foot wasn't doing it. And then finally they saw him in a boot like at a wedding a month ago or something like that. And then it finally broke that they put him on. But I don't know. I just saw another video that one of the players posted, and I don't know if he was supposed to post it, but him in the locker room, Christian Wilkins, basically dancing, and he didn't have a boot on. So it's like I've had the same injury that he's had. I've had it. I've had the screw put in my foot. I've had it taken out. Sometimes your body rejects the screw. Sometimes it doesn't. It's up to your foot of how it does. And plus being a bigger guy like he is, and putting all that pressure on your foot every damn day, and then him having to push off of it, of course it's not going to heal 100%. Like I had that foot surgery 18 years ago probably, and my foot is still not 100%. It's still dead on some parts of it. So it's just getting comfortable with it. If I had a guess, with Christian Wilkins. There's rumor is he could be back by week 1. They put him on the pup list. I don't think that. I think he's going to miss the first 4 games, and they'll go from that. But then there's also the one somebody also put out that he's missing the entire season or until week 11. I would go with the 4 games. If me personally, I think he misses the first 4 games and he tries to get back out there just because he's a competitive guy, and it was working. It was working well for the Raiders the first 5 games of last year before he got hurt. And it's just a freak injury. But so many Raider fans, like, oh my gosh. So many people, Tony, have thrown this man under the bus in the Raider Nation, and I can't believe it because they're even going after me because when the Raiders signed Christian Wilkins, I jumped for joy. When you, like you said, you could put Christian Wilkins with a Max Crosby kind of talent, you're good. And this is another reason I wanted like another defensive tackle the last 2 years, right? What did I want? I want Mason Graham this year. I wanted Byron Murphy last year to add to that defensive line with it, just because you never know what's going to happen. But I jumped for him. People are like, yeah, I can't believe you rooted for Wilkins. This is another Tom Telesco signing. This is a bust. Injuries happen in the NFL. You can't do it. Like you took a shot at a great player and an injury happened. It just happened. It's part of the game.
Yeah, it's sad too. It's reminding me. It's not the same because he didn't play for the Raiders all that time. But like Bosa last year was forcing himself onto the field because he just knows like this is it. I can't miss this season and expect to come back next season. So we might end up in a situation where, like you're saying, Wilkins takes those 4 weeks off, and then it's like, all right, let's see what I can do, whether he can do it or not at that point, and try at least to make some kind of difference on the D line. Yeah, that's tough. The Raiders defense, and this is why I like the Raiders defense so much, and it's easy to hate on the Raiders, is they've been a one-man defense basically since I returned home, and they are still a one-man defense, and it's the same one man. So they need to help that dude out.
Yeah, I think Kuntz is one of the more underrated, pass rushers in the league, and it'll be interesting to see how Wilson does year 3. I think I haven't heard any injury stuff, so he should be able to have like a good full camp. Maybe he was a late bloomer in college. Maybe now he figures it out a little bit too as you get further on. The interesting stuff on the defensive side for the Raiders is going to be how does that secondary shake out? Are they able to find some gems there? Is that'll be the strength, and that's Pete's. He's got an eye for that side of the ball. So I think the Raiders are going to be improved, and those will be tough games.
and they did draft.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I hope we sweep the shit.
They did draft some defense.
Yeah, say Broom's out. I think it's interesting. It's an interesting team to watch because they have enough veterans to stay healthy, Tony, and compete. They also have potential to fall apart very early and go completely the other direction. So we'll see. I can't wait.
I think there's a certain floor that you get with Geno, right? Like you're going like I don't think
especially like Geno Pete together. That's kind of proven. If Geno was going to a new coach, I would be less confident in.
They cannot be as bad as they've been the past couple of years. Like because I do think Geno he's one of those quarterbacks that when everybody makes lists, they're like, where's this guy going? It's like, well, sometimes he plays like he's top 7, 8 quarterback in the league. And other times it's closer to 15. But like he's always going to put you in games. And if he makes better decisions in the red zone last year, the Seahawks are like a very the record outcome for the Seahawks is very different.
It's gonna be dependent also. It's gonna be dependent. Every team's gonna be dependent on how dominant the rushing attack is too for Geno. That can help him out a ton. But let's move on here. One of the biggest camp battles that I'm watching right now, because of my boy Keenan Allen, of course, is the 49ers wide receiver situation. And that's one I wanted to bring up first, and then you guys can think about which ones you want to talk about. But I want to talk about this one specifically because Ayuk's not there, right? Jennings, not there. Pearsall is hurt.
Pulpless, yeah.
Who's running routes for Brock Purdy right now? Is George Kittle working outside at X? Like what? What's the situation for the 49ers wide receiver 1 from what you know, Tony, as of right now? Who is running routes?
Ronnie Bell from Michigan, the guy who kept dropping balls last year. Like it's funny. Like when I'll get text messages about because I support the Michigan guys. They're like, I thought you told me the Michigan guys were good. I'm like, yeah, they were good on Michigan. I don't know. Yeah. Like same thing with Jake Moody. You guys are always busting my balls about Jake Moody.
But you're not wrong. You're not wrong very often. So that's one that we got to hold you to forever. But Joe, go ahead.
He was so good. He was.
But when you draft a kicker there, you fuck him up. It's too much expectation.
He was so good at Michigan.
Yeah, because Ayuk's hurt, Pearsall's hurt. Juwan Jennings is asking for more money. He's holding out.
The thing
And
about
then
Ayuk, Joe, is
you have Demarcus Robinson, who's in legal trouble. So you have those four.
Ayuk's body is hurt, but I think Ayuk's pride is completely demolished. I don't think he wants to play for the Niners, and I don't think the Niners want him to play for them.
So I can't get my Wi-Fi to work, but there was a message that came out on Brandon Ayuk that, okay, here it is. We're not anywhere close to having a concrete timeline. That's what the general manager said about Brandon Ayuk.
They shouldn't have signed him. They should have traded him. You can tell that neither side is happy with what's happened or what's happening or where we're going.
But he didn't. That's the thing is like they wanted to move him to like the Browns or something.
And he fucked it.
Amari Cooper in the deal.
Yeah.
And then there was rumors that like the Patriots weren't on it, but he didn't want to go there. Like he wants to be paid. And he wants to play for a good winning organization. He gets that part. And when he's healthy, he's a very good football player. Like this knee injury it's pretty aggressive. It's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back. But like, if this is Juwan Jennings knows like, hey, I might not be a $35 million a year receiver, but I'm looking around and it is my time to strike right now. His agent is like, you need to get paid because you are going to be the guy. And this is your opportunity to maybe take that number closer to 18 to $20 million a year, as opposed to whatever, $5-7 million you're getting now, which is.
I'm glad you say that. I'm glad you say that because I personally think that the Niners' best way forward, they should just basically trade Ayuk to anyone that will take him. They should eat the money and they should just run it with Jennings and Pearsall. I think they'll have a great season with those two out wide. You keep Kittle heavily involved. CMC is going to be healthy again this year. That's what people forget about the Niners is if CMC stays healthy, they're a completely different offense right there with just that one player. Let alone, if you get some of this negativity out, like, you get Debo out, which I don't think Debo was that much of a problem as people make him seem. Ayuk seems to be a problem. And it's almost every time this comes up with the GM, every time this comes up with the coach, every time this comes up with Ayuk, it's an awkward answer. It's an awkward answer where everyone is not saying what they actually feel. They need to trade him. This is a situation that's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And pay Jennings. Jennings has been a stud for you. You're not going to have to overpay him. You'll have Ricky Pearsall there for multiple years on his rookie contract, and you have a good 1-2 punch. I think Pearsall's a really good receiver, though. That's the basis of this argument, is that I think Pearsall can be better than Ayuk eventually. So that's kind of, if he flops, then I'm going to ruin the 49ers with this move.
Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
Sometimes you hold a team together too long, and you should have blown it up a long time ago. And this is something that the Niners should have done. We're looking at the Niners, and we're expecting them to be a good team, right? Or people, like, we're expecting them to be back to where they were. But no, they're not. They're basically right now, if you look at the Niners roster, they're the third place team in that division. They're not that great of a team. They got some big holes. And when you're looking at this wide receiver, blow it up. It's get rid of Ayuk, do what you got to do, go younger, go with the younger players. Hell, you should have even traded Christian McCaffrey this offseason if you wanted to. You should have. This is something you should have just rebuilt this team and gone away with it. But I think this whole season is. I don't have a lot of expectations for the San Francisco 49ers this year. With Kyle Shanahan as their coach, they're always going to be in a game, and he can outcoach some people and win some games that their talent probably haven't got him. But this is a Niner team that needs to be rebuilt.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's going to start here soon. It's kind of crazy to pay Brock Purdy at the front of the rebuild, but we'll see how that pans out. But I'm with you, Joe. I think especially the wide receiver part, we should probably get that addressed because they're going to be a competitive team as healthy as they can stay this year. But it's just kicking a big explosion of a can down the road. I mean, this thing is going to happen eventually, whether they like it or not, just because of age.
Yeah. What do you got for us, Tony?
So I just want to look at the depth chart and make sure I had the names right. Jacob Cowling, Arizona State wide receiver, fast. It could be interesting for them. Doesn't really solve some of the issues that they're having. Like he's not an X receiver. Isaiah Nair, he's like 6'4", runs really fast. Nebraska receiver that I like in the draft, but I think he was like an undrafted free agent. And then Is this Owens? Terrell
Yeah,
Owens?
Terrell son.
Yeah,
What?
I don't know how to say his first name. Tariq? I don't know. Tariq Owens. And
They
then
got a bunch
Russell,
of no names that only people who study the NFL draft getting ready for the draft are going to know about.
yeah, exactly. Like this year, Isaiah Hodgins.
Oh, shit. Never mind. The Niners are set. They're good. They got Isaiah.
No, that's not your guy. This guy is, I believe,
Never mind.
free.
Back to the
Yeah,
shitter.
I think this is a free agent for this year. But like the 49ers season is going to come down to like, can Christian McCaffrey stay healthy? If this guy can play 15 to 17 games for them, the 49ers are going to be fine. I love the investments that they made. I know people didn't love their draft, but like I did. I thought they invested heavily on the defensive side of the football. And then it just comes down to, can you keep Kittle and McCaffrey healthy? And one thing that I hope Kyle Shanahan learns, when you're up 14 points in the fourth quarter, give the ball to Garendo. Stop feeding Christian McCaffrey when you have 14-point leads in the volume down. Give the ball to the next man on the roster, and even if it's not got a chance to be as explosive, just go to the next guy.
I have CMC on my dynasty league.
But he can't help you if he's getting injured because he's touching the ball 30 times in
week. You're right. He is my RB3 on that team. So
yeah,
we're doing all right. But we'll see how the 49ers do. I think this wide receiver situation is interesting. If Keenan Allen does not sign with the Chargers, this is where I want him to sign. It would be so much fun to see him in the Shanahan offense and have another good season before it's over and not go somewhere like the Raiders.
I would be good with that, actually.
Exactly. Joe, is there any camp battles outside of the Raiders and Chargers and Niners that are really getting you hard?
Excuse me?
I mean, are they that are exciting you to the point that you want to bring it up on the show?
I don't know why I'm interested in it because I don't give a damn about it really, but I've always I want to see what Cleveland does at quarterback.
Yeah,
like that's interesting to me.
I have a video on that coming out today. It's going to be funny because
like even though like all the hate on Shador, I kind of want him to win the battle. Like I kind of want to see him win the battle. I don't think he will, but it'd be funny if he does, right? Like it would just be another thing that Cleveland does. So I want to see that. What else around the league?
Even if Shador wins the battle for QB2, that would be great. Like if it's Flacco and then Shador's the backup to start the season, that would be awesome.
As far as like the Cleveland battle goes, like you have to start Flacco to start the season.
Yeah.
Like you cannot put out one of these rookies in week one.
Or Watson.
Wait, what?
Like is Watson an option to start week one still or no?
No. He has a torn Achilles or whatever. Like he's done. I'm talking about they have four possible options.
I'm trying to see my TikTok here. Give me some.
There's no chance. Maybe a UFL. Maybe he'll play for the.
That would be sick if he goes to the UFL. It still sucks.
Oh no, that would be. That's I don't want to talk about Watson. I want to talk about the Browns, the four guys that are there. You have to put Flacco out there because if you're a veteran on this team and you're like, yeah, we're starting Dylan Gabriel week one or Shedeur Sanders week one. I just think that you get 2-3 weeks into the season and then you have to keep all of these guys motivated and focused and everything, like fighting every week for the next 3 months. That's really tough to do, I think. You have to give some hope.
You also run into a Bryce Young situation there where if Flacco starts as the backup and the rookie struggles, people are demanding Flacco in like Dalton. And then if the other way around, Flacco struggles, now you get a fresh start with Shedeur or a fresh start with Dylan Gabriel in the middle of the season versus, the attitude of your rookie who you had promised for failing and you putting in Andy Dalton. I will never agree with benching Bryce Young in that moment. And I think it might have ruined his whole career.
If what?
Them benching him in the middle of the season for no reason.
Yeah, to go and whoop the Raiders' ass.
Exactly.
One of the worst. That's probably one of the worst games I've been to in my life as a Raider fan.
I remember
I've been to in my life was also a Raider game, Joe.
I remember talking to Joe after that game. He's like, I don't even know what I just like. That was the biggest bunch of shit. I was like,
that was NFLMike's pick'em's curse right there, Joe. The pick change curse. That's
right
there. That and then a Bears game a few years ago kind of proves that I could use.
Oh, that Bears game was bad too. Yeah.
I'm having trouble bringing up the Browns schedule, but I do think that there is like a week 5 or week 6 spot where you could get one of the rookies or Kenny Pickett in there. To me, like, I've never really understood the Kenny Pickett signing if you were going to bring in Joe Flacco, because you're not going to be able to carry 4, but then you draft 2. The Browns just continue to do things that I don't understand. They're the ones that gave Carson Schlesinger the fully guaranteed contract that started all the second round nonsense. It's like the Browns are just kind of always doing things that are a little complex for, a simpleton like me to understand. I do have a camp battle that I would like to talk about. Just let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead. No, that's fine. That's enough on the Browns. What the hell?
Okay. The quarterback battle for the New York Giants, because I think that Russ gives them the best chance to be successful, the best chance for that head coach and his GM to keep the job. But like, I would just like to see Jackson Dart play. So week 5, they get to play the Saints on the road. And I think that might be the first opportunity, because you play the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Chiefs, and then the Chargers for the first 4 weeks. I don't think you want your rookie out there for those 4 games. Like,
yeah, you don't even want Russ out there for those 4 games, but
yeah, I mean, you got to worry about Dan Quinn, though. Like, he's going to do like, he's going to make it tough on a rookie in his opening game on the road. And then you get the Cowboys on the road, Micah Parsons, newest highest paid player, non-quarterback in the league.
Maybe.
He'll be rough their ball. Then you get you get to come home, hey, finally, and you get the Chiefs. And then you get the Chargers the week after that, where it's like you're going to have Khalil Mack and Derwin James and everybody else making your life difficult. So week 5 is kind of is it Jackson Dart time? Like, are the Giants 1-3 and Russ isn't looking tremendous? Do you go that route? And like, is Jackson Dart, was he just sort of like, is he Kenny Pickett all over again? Is this that kind of draft where it's like, we weren't really sure what to do, so we just sort of took the QB in this spot? Because we'll know pretty soon, like, how that's going to work out for Brian Dable and Joe Shane in that situation. But when you have a wide receiver like Malik Neighbors, it's like you might be able to get away with it. Like, he might be able to piece something together, like with what he did with Daniel Jones, and they can play really good defense and use the quarterback run game a little bit. I don't know. There's a little Scattaboo action. He starts coming on in week 5, and maybe Jackson Dart works out. That's something I'm interested to see. But I think it would be nuts if he plays so good in the preseason and then Russ is like on the sidelines as the backup. I think he might ask to be cut, and then they would just go with Jameis as the game day backup. Like, I don't know if Wilson could stand there on the sidelines healthy and play.
You don't think Russ is a good teammate that could just like build the rookie up and root for him the whole season? You don't think Russ can do that?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know Russ personally. I think it would be weird. I think it would be uncomfortable as a fan to watch it.
This is a guy who knows he's not playing preseason games, suits up anyways, Tony. It's a great teammate.
Oh, the Giants defense looks scary too. So that could help out a rookie quarterback a ton. Their defense looks like it's going to come together this year. We'll see if it comes to fruition, and they still have the D coordinator, right?
Can they win games 18-15?
The defensive line is
possible.
Yeah, defensive line
looks good.
That's
an interesting one. I'm glad you brought it up, Tony, because I would have taken Shedeur Sanders over Jackson Dart. So that's something else to watch. Like, was that the right choice? Like you're saying, when they did that, was that just the only option on the board, or do they actually love Dart the way they're saying? Because Brian Daboll's making it seem like that was their dream quarterback to get in the draft. So we'll see. We'll see.
I like Dart in college, so
they traded back in for him. It's going to be interesting because of the difference between going from Lane Kiffin's offense to going to the NFL. But I mean, obviously, you can throw a lot of those quick screens to Malik Neighbors, and he'll just go 50, 60 yards to the house. So if you can find a way to work that into the offense, then you can have success.
Yeah, and why was everyone so excited about Coach Dayball in the first place when he was coming out to become a head coach versus being the offensive coordinator? The fact that he had already shown that he can take someone like Josh Allen, who's just kind of a wild, raw talent, and turn him into an elite quarterback. So if he could do that again, I will die thinking that Daniel Jones was pretty unfixable at the point that Brian Daboll got him. So we'll see if he can make it happen with Jackson Dart. Another one I wanted to shout out here, I'm watching for fantasy purposes, is the Cowboys running back one battle. I don't believe in Javonte Williams taking over that. I don't believe in Miles Sanders just completely taking over that. Although I do think Miles Sanders is an underrated back that probably starts as the RB1. I'm excited to see how Jadon Blue works his way in there in the preseason, works his way in there during camp, and then maybe 4 weeks in, let's see what this kid can do if he's healthy, because when he put his tape on, it is electric. And it is a lot like some of the Cowboys running backs that we're used to seeing out there. I think that could be a battle where a rookie gets up there way quicker than we expect as well.
So I see Blue as like a smaller Tony Pollard type, where I don't know if Jadon Blue is going to be able to carry the ball 15 to 20 times a game, but if you can design 10 to 12 touches where it's like maybe 8 carries and 4 design looks in the pass game would be nice. I do think Javonte Williams is going to win this job. I just think he's a better running back or the best running back they have on the roster. And it's all going to come down to whether or not it's healthy. And I think one of the strong things about the Cowboys is that offensive line, Now, the interesting part about this is like when you add George Pickens, I think that helps the run game. Not just because every once in a while he decides to become like the all-time best wide receiving, blocking option in the history of the game, but like you are going to have CeeDee Lamb and Ferguson and Pickens. If you can have all 3 of those guys healthy at the same time, you might be able to get some lighter boxes and have some success for both those guys. But I think week 1, I think the majority of the carries are going to be Javonte Williams. If everybody's healthy, I think he's going to be the starter.
That's good news, Tony. That's great news. We won't be trying to go for the same running back. I'll be drafting Miles Sanders. You'll be drafting Javonte Williams. We'll be drafting different people.
I'll draft Blue.
And he dropped Blue. We'll see how it works out. One of them's going to work. So one of them's going to end up being the lead back. Another one that I think is really interesting that people aren't talking about that much. The Packers wide receiver one battle has been going on for a couple of years. This is the year where someone's going to separate. And I think it's going to be Golden. I really do when you watch what he did on tape in college. But Watson's still in there. Reed is still in there. Wicks is still in there. And Dobbs is still kind of in the mix there. I think that's an interesting one because all those wide receivers are very talented and have shown us some potential to step up into that spot. Like all of them have shown us potential to be the Packers franchise wide receiver. But, they just drafted one in the first round also. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Joe, which one of those guys is your favorite receiver in Green Bay?
So my thing is, all these teams that are wide receiver hungry right now, why aren't you calling Green Bay? Why aren't you calling Green Bay? At least getting Dobbs.
I would want
one
of those.
We saw what happened with Dobbs last season. Go out and at least get him that way. So I've done a couple of mock drafts already. I know it's July, but I've already done a couple mock drafts. And when I get to a certain round, I'm looking at the Packers wide receivers. And there's 2 names that I trust in Green Bay. There's only 2 names that I would even want on my fantasy team right now. And one of them is Reed, and the other one is Golden. And I go back and forth when I'm looking at them because most of the time when I'm on the clock, both of them are sitting there, and I have to go back. Right now, I've been taking Reed as the guy I've been drafting just because he's there, and there's still question mark of how Golden's going to be used, what a rookie coming in. So I've been taking Reed, but I think those 2 are at the top of your depth chart of who you're going to take, and then I would say by the end of the year, Golden would probably be your number 1 guy. When all the dust settles down. But those are the 2 that I really like in Green Bay is Reed and Golden.
I'm here for it too. I think that Golden's hype probably is going to get too high for me by the time we get to fantasy football drafts, and then I'm not going to draft him. Really, who I want in that offense out of all of this additions, the passing and all that I want Josh Jacobs. Give me Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Everyone else focus on this stuff, and I'll take the freaking guy that's going to get 1,500 yards in his sleep.
I like Tucker Kraft late. I think he's a good tight end and he has a chance to keep getting better there. Musgrave has never been healthy enough to really make a dent for me to be scared. I would probably draft Golden just for the, like, maybe if Golden can be my wide receiver 4 for talking fantasy football, then I'm good with that, right? Like, I think by the end of the year, he can be that sort of second half, consistent, 8 targets a game type of a player where they're, having a real game plan for him each week. But they have the ability and the luxury to sort of ease him into the game. Like, they did draft him in the first round, but there's no need to just be like, hey, this week we've got, a big game plan for you. You have to be taking on all this stuff. It's like, no, be the second, third option on a lot of these different plays here, because they have so many receivers that are all good that can do a little bit different things really, really well. So they're hoping that he's the one guy that can do all of the things really, really well. But we'll see. I would draft Golden.
I'm with Golden too. Okay, so I think that's basically all the big ones. There's a few more, but I think the one last prediction that I want, especially from Tony Tucker, Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones. Tony Tucker's fan favorite QB battle is going down in Indianapolis. Like, this is insane, Tony. Like, 2 top 5 picks that only you believe in versus the rest of the world, pretty much. So now they have to take each other out.
Daniel Jones is like, I kind of just want him to be good because everybody hates him so much. It makes me, like, drives my brain crazy how much people hate him. And I get it. He hasn't been very good. I think that he's just going to win based on availability. Like, it doesn't seem like Anthony Richardson is ever, like, fully healthy to be there. Anthony Richardson was the guy that I traded a bunch of draft picks in Dynasty to move up and draft him because I was like, Shane Steichen, this guy's going to be like Jalen Hurts 2.0. This is going to be amazing. Tony. What he's going to do. And it has not worked out. I do not believe that he's going to win the job. I think Shane Steichen is going to try to, make him be this year's Baker Mayfield or whoever, like that quarterback that hits another spot, the Geno Smith from a few years ago, and figures it out. And I think that they're going to use a lot of the run game with Daniel Jones. He's shown that can be an asset for him. Not quite as good as Anthony Richardson, but I do think he'll be a little bit better at getting the football to the fact that they have so many good pass catchers on that team, but you forget about it because the ball might be 15 yards over their head on a 10-yard in cut. It's like, where was that going? Like, you see receivers on there, like they're not, is there somebody behind me on this? They're like, that should be to me in this route concept. There shouldn't be anybody. And it's like, sure enough, the ball is missing everybody. And it's like, Anthony Richardson could figure that part out, could get the accuracy down. I still believe he could be a really good quarterback. I think that just might have to be with like the Rams or somebody else. Like, it just might not be with the Colts. And
it's like those Chargers fans. Like, if Quentin Johnson could just learn how to catch the ball, then he'll be a good receiver. So, if Anthony Richardson could figure out how to throw the ball, he'd be a good quarterback.
Yeah, why the Colts didn't try to go after another veteran quarterback or why didn't Russ want to go to Indianapolis? That would have been a better fit for him. See him there. So it's something like, if you know that you have so good of weapons, like your offense is so good, you just need that quarterback position. Why didn't you go out there and do it?
But that's the thing is, like, when they were going there before, there's always this thing where it's like they've been on the QB carousel since Andrew Luck, and I think a lot of veterans are like, I don't want to just go to Indianapolis for just 1 year. Maybe Aaron Rodgers would have been a different story, but he wants a chance to be with a coach that's proven, that's going to give you a chance to win. That's why Aaron Rodgers is in Pittsburgh. I think he wanted to be, I think he wanted the job in Minnesota to get back at Green Bay and have that Favre ending to his career. Yeah. But if that's not going to be the case, he also wants to be with a coach that's going to give his team a real shot to compete for a Super Bowl. And that is not going to be in Indianapolis. Like, they would, the lightning in that bottle would have to be like all-time lightning in a bottle for that to happen.
Yeah, and I think in a way, the Pat McAfee connection, everyone thought was going to push him towards the Colts. I think it pushes him away from the Colts. think Aaron Rodgers is a very like I want to do it on my own type thing, and he doesn't want anyone to think, oh yeah, McAfee helped get me in there, or flip the script and McAfee's telling him like the Colts are a shit show. Don't go there right now. They need some help. They need to figure some stuff out. They're not able to get. I don't know, but I always thought that Pat McAfee thing was going to work against the Colts.
But you can't have. Last year at the end of the season, there was all those things coming out where like people weren't showing up for practice late and weren't like into the season anymore. And like, that's a head coaching problem. Like you cannot, Mike McDaniels had a similar issue in Miami. You cannot have the kind of locker room where people are like, yeah, what are they going to do about it? I'm under contract. I'm worth a lot of money. I'm one of the best players on the team. I'm just not really feeling this. We're not very good. Whatever it is. Aaron Rodgers does not want to go be part of that. He wants to go be part of Mike Tomlin's culture where that stuff just doesn't seem like it's going to be accepted.
Yeah. Yeah. And my heart still roots for Anthony Richardson. I will be rooting for Richardson to win this. But my brain's with you, Tony. I think that Daniel Jones, he's not a good starter in the NFL, but he's a top 32 quarterback in the NFL. He's a starter. I mean, he's an edge of starting caliber, and Anthony Richardson is not that yet as a player, and he's not even healthy. So he can't even get to that.
Could he be Sam Darnold this year, where it's like he looks really good?
I don't know about that good.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he has.
Darnold cooked last year to a point that people actually think Sam's gonna have a great year in Seattle this year.
You called me a nutcase on a show when I was like, it was like week 14. I'm like, I think Sam Darnold has an outside chance to win MVP, and then he just kind of went downhill after I said that out loud.
The stats were there, yeah.
But like, I was like, this. I don't think Daniel Jones.
I remember that argument. The principle of my argument wasn't that Sam Darnold didn't have the numbers. The principle was like, we're gonna point towards the person that is actually the MVP of the team. Hopefully, if we're talking MVP of the Vikings.
Well, you also said, Tony, just give it some time. He's going to fall apart. And sure enough, within 48 hours, he fell
himself.
Apart. Yeah, it's
the whole face mask thing, all that happened too.
It was bad. I got really on that train. I do think, though, maybe not MVP type season, but I think Daniel Jones can have that moment where next year teams are looking around going like, can we have Daniel Jones throw 23, 24 touchdown passes? Running 4 or 5 for us. Can we?
And another thing that's really hurting Anthony Richardson in this battle is he's not going against Joe Flacco. Like when we talk about the differences and the edge that Anthony Richardson is going to bring to the offense, it's going to be his mobility. But Daniel Jones is as mobile as any quarterback in the league.
But he's also got Daniel Jones is still young. That's the other part of this is like you could convince yourself that if he has a great year, we could sign him to a big deal. What happened?
You can't convince me. They can convince themselves. If you can convince yourself, Tony.
If he has a good year and the relationship is strong between Steichen and Daniel Jones, the organization, Chris Ballard could say like, hey, we found our guy finally in Indianapolis. Yeah. We just won this division. We won 11 games, maybe because we had a better, strength of schedule than what the Texans had or something. We just won the division.
That wouldn't be a great look for Brian Daboll. We'll see what happens here with the Colts. I'm with you, though, Tony. I think my heart wants Richardson. We know that he's a good character guy. He had all this potential to be like a Cam Newton-esque player, and it just hasn't really come to fruition. And Daniel Jones is going to give you some good play. It's going to be inconsistent. You're going to have some crazy, embarrassing moments, but you can still win like 9 games at minimum with him. Last topic here, and then I'm going to wrap us up. I just want to talk about this because I'm super excited about it. I've been saying it for like a year straight that the Steelers have no choice but to pay TJ Watt a blank check, whatever he wants. And now he is officially the highest paid non-quarterback in the league for now. Like you're saying, Micah Parsons might break that very shortly, very soon. But do you guys think that this was a great move by the Steelers to go ahead and lock in TJ Watt? Obviously it is. I mean, it's not. But is he the best non-quarterback in the league?
No.
I don't think so.
This was the dumbest move by the Pittsburgh Steelers. No matter how good.
Move. That's what I've been saying. They have no choice.
This was dumb. Should have just traded him. Should have just moved on. Should have just moved on. There's no way, like the Dallas Cowboys. There's no way the Dallas Cowboys can go pay Micah Parsons. No, you can't. You got to move on. These prices are outrageous and crazy for defensive end for any player, and it just keeps going up. And Jerry Jones is crazy. He's dumb. Jerry Jones is
I don't
off
understand
his
how the
rocker.
Cowboys thing works. I know the salary cap's a myth at this point, but how does it even work out math-wise for them to pay 60 to the quarterback, 60 to 2 wide receivers, 40 to an edge rusher, and then also field a secondary?
Have you seen their running back room? That's why.
That's why they just don't pay the running backs or linebackers
why, yeah.
ever.
You don't
They're
pay
never
anybody
paying
else.
them ever.
Yeah, you don't.
Like,
You don't
I don't know.
linebacker.
Zeke thing traumatized them.
Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm wrong about the Steelers, but the Steelers are getting aged. They're older. They're up there. It's time. They already moved. Why they went after Ramsey and gave up Fitzpatrick, which is kind of weird to me. Is like now you're adding more age to that room. It's an aging team with a team that's you're only 500 at best, anyways, even with Aaron Rodgers, and you just paid a defensive lineman. Yeah, he's awesome. He's a great guy, but you know how much you could have got back in return from him, and just went out there and just rebuilt your whole team for the next couple of years. I don't know. I thought the Cleveland Browns were dumb for signing Myles Garrett for that much money. Like, and the Dallas Cowboys screwed themselves by waiting. Like this shows you this teaches you a lesson, right? If you're an NFL team out there, sign your player as soon as you can. When their contract is up and it goes, hey, we got to sign this guy, let's sign him. Because the longer you wait, the more stupid teams like the Cleveland Browns are going to put a price tag on somebody, and it's going to make you go, oh shit, we're done.
So yeah, Rashawn Slater. Let's get it going. Get it done. No. But let's finish that up.
The record of TJ Watt without being on the field for the Steelers is like, I think the Steelers are 1-12 without him or something like that.
That's what I was about to say. The Steelers have pinned themselves into a corner where that's their quarterback. Like, that's their franchise quarterback. That's their player that's winning them games. You don't want that to be your edge rusher. You want that to actually be your quarterback.
So I think that is why they can afford to spend so much on defense, is because they haven't been able to hit on the quarterback, but that's also what limits their ceiling for what it is. So I think that's why they've been trying this past couple of years to capture the magic of having the quarterback play with these veterans, even Fields and Wilson last year. But like the thing that I love about this is like it's their identity, it's their culture, it's what they should have done for like they wanted to keep him around. They gave him this thing. He's going to retire a Steeler hopefully now. And you asked before, do I think he's the best non-QB in the league? I don't. I probably have never really thought that about him. I do think that he is, top 5 at his position. It has been that for a long time, but like there's also like something that when you're building something, you reward players with certain things. And it's like, you have the guy in your division, Myles Garrett, where their careers have been so closely compared and linked being in the same division, and he gets this deal, right away that TJ Watt is not signing with you for $1 less than what the guy that he has like openly talked about being better than. I mean, maybe not word for word that conversation, but like he's not going to take less money than Myles Garrett. So you already knew this was going to be an issue for you. And they do have a lot of age. I actually like Jalen Ramsey better for this because I think he offers more versatility, where I think he could play some safety and can play in the slot, can, play outside. I think he is a nice second corner to Joey Porter Jr. as he continues to rise in that thing. But like when I saw that number, I was like, yeah, this makes sense. This is kind of what I was expecting for TJ Watt. Now what's going to be crazy is if Aaron Rodgers doesn't work out and TJ Watt's injured and this team is 5-12, it might be the best thing that happens to them, because they might be picking in the top 5 next year. I think they have a lot of draft capital for next year because of the compensatory picks that they've continued to accumulate. They might be looking at landing their QB of the future next year, and that's why you can afford to give this guy all of that money.
Yeah, this is an all-in year for the Steelers. Like the moves that they made, the veterans that they brought in. Like, yeah, Jalen Ramsey is better than, like you said, is a better fit this season. But overall, who would you rather have, Ramsey or Fitzpatrick over the next couple of years?
I don't know. I think maybe
when you're building a team, you kind of want the younger guy, right?
Yes, I do. But also, like, I think Ramsey is going to have that ability to eventually become like a nickel safety, kind of transition into where they're using Derwin James right now. Like, I think he's going to be able to be that player. So that's the player I want on my team.
Yeah, I think I would probably pick Ramsey out of that one. But if you talk about like a younger corner that's like got a little bit more juice, like a little bit more lockdown coverage and everything put on tape already, I probably would lean that way over Ramsey. But the moral of the story is I feel like that they had to do it, like you're saying. But the best non-quarterback in the league to me is Justin Jefferson. Double team him, triple team him, doesn't matter. His quarterback Sam Darnold. His quarterback is Kirk Cousins, and now it's about to be J.J. McCarthy. The Vikings offense is going to be one of the best in the league because of 18. I think Jamar Chase is a close second, too. And I think that the fact that they're teamed up with quarterbacks that I like, too, even makes it more worth it to me for the Vikings and the Bengals to go ahead and pay top player, highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. So I think it will be Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. But like I said, I think that the Steelers had to do it. They had to do it, even if logistically it's kind of like you're investing in an invisible ghost of finding that quarterback, like you're saying, Tony.
So I think just because it's an offensive league,
sorry to cut you out, or you could give yourself 3 first-round chances to get that quarterback, or 4. I don't know. This will be the biggest trade of all time, I think, with TJ Watt.
I don't see. That's what everybody keeps saying. I don't believe that. I don't think that anybody was giving away multiple first-round picks and then also paying him $40 million a year. That's the problem that the Steelers were in.
What's the most recent like big trade of a D end? I'm trying to think.
Danielle Hunter wasn't he traded to the Texans?
That's not even like the same stratosphere as TJ Watt. Like,
so let me ask you this:
like Khalil Mack trade.
But Khalil Mack was 30 years old, Mike. Like you can't compare when that's the part of the issue with the contract too. Is like you're paying somebody who has a little bit of an injury. You know, he plays through a lot of stuff. Like he plays through a lot of injuries to be out there for his guys. But like you're giving somebody who's 30 years old all of this money, and I do think that he will perform nicely. Like that's
like for this contract at least. Yeah,
he's going to be worth it. He's going to win a lot of games. He's going to make a lot of plays. He's TJ Watt. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Like, but it's not.
I guess no one's interested in Trey Hendrickson.
And he's leading the league in sacks over the last 2 years.
You got a point, Tony.
Like they just.
Let me ask you this: how many wins do you have the Steelers at right now with the current state that they're in?
I want to see how like they get through camp and how healthy it is and stuff. But I have the Steelers as like a 9 to 10 win team this year.
Same. So you take TJ Watt off that team. How many wins do you take away?
Probably 2.5. Like I'm probably closer to like 7, like a 7-win team.
So it's 2.5, 3 games worth $40 million.
I'm even worse than that. I think they lose more than 2 games if they lose TJ Watt. But annually too. I think annually, year after year.
I'm just saying that they are going to replace him with somebody. So you're telling me that they get rid of, in your scenario, they get rid of Watt. Then you go sign Jadeveon Clowney to play for you at a much cheaper route, and you're still going to get some of the pass rush, and you're still going to get very high level run defense. Like you're taking him away and not replacing him with anybody. In my mind, I'm replacing him with a free agent right now that they could sign, have the draft picks, not have the cap problems or whatever it is. But also in your mythical world, somebody's offering up multiple first-round picks and paying him $120 million. That world doesn't exist. Nobody's doing that. It's an offensive league. If you're trading for somebody, you know who you can get multiple first-round picks for who's over 30? Lane Johnson. You know who would trade for – so many teams would trade for a right tackle if Howie picked up the phone and was like, hey, guys, Lane's available. They'd be like, what do you want? Because that's – you're paying your quarterback all this money. You then have to keep that guy protected and upright. So you're trying to get like with the defensive side of the thing, you can chip, you can do whatever. You can eliminate most of their production in a game if you want. Like not all the time. That's why they make plays and they get paid, but it just doesn't. The way that football is played now, I don't think investing money heavily in the defensive side is ever going to be the way to go. I don't think investing in super high draft picks is the way to go.
Oh, wait, do you cheer the signing or not? Wait, I'm confused. Should have they signed him or traded him?
No, they have to sign him because
I'm thinking too. Yeah.
They have to. Like the position they put themselves
There's no
in,
other option. That's basically we
it
agree in a long roundabout way.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I think it's great. I'm happy for him. Make all the money you can. He's a great player. I enjoy watching him play. I'm just saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers are in this sort of Groundhog's Day scenario where the same things are going to repeat themselves over and over again unless Aaron Rodgers can be healthy and have sort of one last magical run at QB, then it's a different story. But like otherwise next year, they're paying $40 million for this guy, and who's their quarterback? We're back in the same scenario for the Steelers, and the fans are pissed about it. It's like they got to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out for the Steelers. Speaking of Groundhog's Day, there's not really much more news to talk about unless you guys got something that I should bring up here right before I end the show. But please, Phil, that's got to be the last retirement, man. We can't retire again. That's it. Retire. I can't watch any more of these videos reminding me you didn't win the Super Bowl, basically. Just, it's good. I appreciated that video, but it made me cry again. I don't want to cry anymore about Phillip Rivers.
I just got the Nyheim Hines signing. That was a sad video, Mike. I just got the notification that they signed Nyheim Hines. I didn't know. Maybe they brought him in for a workout and I just missed that. But
interesting, because I did point out, Tony, that like no one's working in the return game. So like Hines, famous for being a returner, if he still has some juice, he could be a player still.
He was another guy that had an off-season problem. Remember, he had that
jet ski
run in Buffalo, and then the next, like that off-season following that, like kickoff return and all that stuff. It was like, yeah, and then terrible accident, and I haven't heard from him since then. So,
any other news I missed, Joe?
Not that I've seen. Not lately.
We're already an hour and a half into this. I appreciate everyone tuning in. If you're still watching this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have watched this much and you're not already subscribed to the channel, I don't even know what you're doing at this point. Like, please hit that button and help us out and support the channel as we are on the road to 22,000 and then 25,000 subscribers right now. Comment any thoughts you guys have on the entire podcast. This will go up as one full episode. This is going to go up as clips as well, whichever one you're watching. Please comment what you think. Thank you guys for tuning in. What's going to happen at NFL training camps? Sooner rather than later, the ball definitely won't lie.
Bill Flames, I went Mike on the mic. What's up, the brand new one time for your mind? He gave you fair warning. Now it's time to smack him in the mouth with that raw sports talk from the town. Sweet chin music to your favorite sportscaster.